multi-hyphenate singer, is that the word? So, you started Above Ordinary Music Group in 2013. Actually, why you decided to do that?
So after I went solo, I signed to this almost like an agency management spot. It's called Citus, and then because they let me have the just creative control and just freedom to choose my own career path and kind of do the music I wanted to do. And then so while I was there, I learned a lot of things. I learned how much it takes to make an album or to shoot a music video, and how much money I make in return, and just about distribution and about marketing and promotions and all that. So that's kind of where I learned the game. And then I kind of wanted to, because Cha Cha was in Seattle at that time, and then I was just kind of doing music by myself, just with me and the engineering. So it started getting kind of like I started becoming like unmotivated, and uninspired. So I wanted to have like a crew, of people that I do music with, just to have fun. It doesn't have to be super duper successful. It's just kind of like just to do it,
Yep.
Like how Shiga has Grizzle Grind, whatever. I wanted to have that type of environment and feel, and there was no other artist at Citus, musical artist.
Yep.
So I was like, I feel like I could make my own. Like, of course, after my contract was done, I thought about going to different spots, a few different places. But then I just felt like it wouldn't really match me, So then I was like, I'm gonna make my own label. At that time, there's a guy named Crush. I don't know if you guys know Crush. Yeah, so that I was like, I became close with Crush, and then I was kind of like after him.
Mm-hmm.
But then he ended up going to Amebo, but he introduced me to Gray. Yeah. So yeah, he introduced me to Gray, and then Gray introduced me to Loco and LO. Yeah. What's going on?
Okay.
Yeah.
I told them to like just keep it in, but
Special guest is Loco and Gray. Give it up.
keep it in.
Yeah. So and then after that, and then it just happened very just organically. Like it's not that. It's more than just business. It's more than just the contract. It's like we're really like the AOM guys. We're really like brothers. Like, and so that's why it's been so fun. And I think people kind of recognize that it's not a company didn't just make us come together just to make money off us. Like, we really came together because we respect each other's music and we like each other's, as a human being. So I think at first, I didn't really expect it to be as successful as it is right now, but it's only been 3 years, and now everyone knows AOMG, and Loco and Gray and everyone are superstars, and it's been a really, really just kind of a meaningful journey, for sure. Yeah.
That's really dope, because like everyone knows that the whole K-pop industry is, like we said, it's slightly manufactured. The SM, the YG, they put acts together.
Yeah.
And you actually went out to find this particular talents as well. Like like you said, Grey, Hoodie, Ugly Duck, Wizard Town. You guys got Ugly Duck.
Ugly Duck, yeah, Ugly Duck is it.
And what actually caught your eye and your interest in terms of sign them to AOMG?
I mean, because I just felt like, because there was like a boom of like groups, like idol groups and idol like girl groups and guy groups. So, and then there's just like everyone started coming out. There became like hundreds of new teams, and then so of course that's not where I want. I mean, that's cool, but that's not where I wanted to. What I wanted to do, I wanted to do just hip hop and R&B. And so I felt like there was a lot of talent, like in the hip hop and R&B industry, but then they just were getting overlooked, overshadowed, because the mainstream and the industry were just only looking for groups.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like I liked their music, so that's why I wanted to do music with them, and then it just kind of worked out at the end. Yeah.
So Cha Cha actually works very closely with them as well? Or?
Yeah, of course. I mean, me and Cha Cha are at the studio like every day. Cha Cha's been in Korea for about 2 months now.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was gonna come to Singapore with us,
sure.
but he wanted to work on music, so that's why he stayed back. But yeah, I mean, Cha Cha, of course, we were all just kind of like doing stuff together, bouncing ideas here and there, like, yo, hop on this, or you should do this, or da da da.
So I mean, and you guys just did like a whole US tour, you know, and then I know you guys saw a lot of shows there, man. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
How did that tour come about, and how was that whole experience? Now, isn't it a bit like a homecoming for you as well?
Yeah, it was. It was. I think we were planning that tour, like the promoters or the whatever, they hit us up a long time ago, and we were like kind of like just working out the terms back and forth for about 8 months or something like that, and then everything worked out, and then the response was amazing. A lot of people came out to the show, a lot of just industry people came out to the show, a lot of artists came out to the show. All the shows were just super like very very high energy. They knew all the words, even though it was in like Korean and stuff like that. And then I had my first show ever in Seattle, so all my friends and family came out.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So that was very, very meaningful and dope as well. Yeah. So it was just a really, and we had a tour in 2014, and so that time we only did 3 cities, and the crowds were smaller. And then 2 years later we did another tour, and then it's just like got much bigger. So we kind of got to see all the work we put in. Like this is the result of how much, like all the hard work we put in. So yeah, it was dope.
And actually, I heard from Ashley, who's sitting there,
Uh-huh.
and it was really high energy throughout. And I mean, like, how do you guys keep that energy so high up? And we saw it like on stage last night as well.
Yeah.
How do you guys keep it up?
I mean, I don't know. It's just we just try to keep a positive attitude for sure. And then since it's like we all kind of like push each other, definitely. I mean, it's always more fun, like the saying, the more the merrier. It's always more fun with like the guys than just doing a show by yourself. So yeah, I think we just kind of feed off each other and then feed off the crowd for sure.
Cool. Okay. Okay. I need to read this because I put in quite a bit chunk
Yeah,
here.
it's fine.
So you mentioned that well, you are Asian American and you had great success in Korea, but you still have your sights set on breaking and making it in the US. And you have mentioned, like in being quoted in Spin magazine, that's how a K-pop star has to be over in America if they want to succeed. They have to be so good in every single thing that even if people hate, they can't really say anything. So I just want to find out, like, how are you trying to balance both the US and the Korean markets at the same time? Because I know your projects in Korea keep you so busy, and that you still try to want to break into the States as well.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's not necessarily that I'm trying to break into the States, but I just want to make music in English, because I've been focused on making music in Korean for the past 6 years, and I feel like I've gotten to the point where I've plateaued, and so just trying to try something new, and just to keep myself motivated, keep myself inspired, keep myself just kind of grinding, so kind of like what is it? Like I'm challenging myself. So yeah, let's do it in English and let's see how people take it. Because the people in Korea and in the K-pop world have received my music pretty well. And so let's see if I can do it on the other side as well, where it's not targeted toward people who like K-pop or Korean music, but just people who like R&B music and hip hop music in general. So
That's dope. That's dope. So okay, I think we have probably one last question here before we
Okay.
open up to the floor.
Okay.
For some questions. So I mean, you have achieved a lot like in your career, but what is your motivation behind your hustle? So I think probably because these are quite a bunch of young musicians here.
Uh-huh.
I think probably maybe it's that if there's a tip like that you might like to share with them as well.
Yeah.
Like, why do you still hustle so hard even though you have so much success in your career?
I mean, I think for whatever you do, you really have to know the reason why you're doing it. Otherwise, there's no point. Like if you're gonna do something, you got to know why you're doing it, and that's what motivates you at the end of the day to keep on working and to keep on pushing and to keep on waking up the next day and keep on working. So for me, definitely it's just like my family, my friends, my fans, my artists. I definitely want to see people around me succeed. So, and in order for that to happen, I have to work that much harder for me to be able to be in a position to
the rest of the night.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm always just kind of thinking like of ideas and how I can create opportunities for different people. Like, oh, what can I do for this person? What can I do for this person? And kind of just all come up together, basically. And also the fans, it's very cliche, but like if it wasn't for the fans, I wouldn't have thought of doing music again.
Sure.
Yeah. So I put up that Nothing on You cover just for fun, and then just the reason why all these companies and all these shows tried to book me is because the fans showed interest in that video. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. Okay. We'd like to open the floor to questions.